My name is Darin. My job title is Chief Technical Officer for the Technical Service Information Bureau. The Technical Service Information Bureau is the technical department for the Western Wall Ceiling Contractors Association. I oversee the technical department of the TSIB. We represent at the moment 3 states. What the Technical Service Information Bureau is and does is we work with the industry, with the union contractors. We service them as far as job site analysis, write reports, work with the industry as far as the architects, spec writers, and consultants at times also. We also work with codes and standards, help out with the changing of new products into the code and or how business is done with applications of lath plaster, drywall, acoustical ceilings, and so on. The thing I like most about my job is working with the people, teaching the people, and making a change for the better of the industry. I started off as a union carpenter. Along those roles, I ran across a gentleman that we worked together for quite a few years on a job out at Warner Brothers. Michael Logue introduced me to this job and had me apply for a position at the Technical Service Information Bureau. My day-to-day operation here is all over the board. As stated before, we represent at the moment over 65 union contractors. So we can have calls that come in from Arizona, Nevada, Southern California that may be requesting TSIB, one of us to go out and evaluate their job, look at their job, write a report, provide information. At the same time, we might have a phone call that comes in and says, I need help with a fire rating, a sound, levels of finish, an application. And then at the same time, during all this, we have our day-to-day operations of working with codes and standards and different groups, and what I'm looking for is the associations that we work with hand in hand. And so we don't have a set routine here by any means. We do a lot of travel internally in the areas that we cover. Could be up to a 200-mile range, or it could be within thousands of miles of traveling across for meetings. Well, I think what it is to see a job that is actually complete. When we have a problem, again, we get called out to jobs most of the time when there's problems or concerns. But when you're able to take an issue, really a high-end issue, and you can find something that you can resolve this issue, or something that everybody can understand why this happened and what you can minimize it or change it for the future, it's pretty neat that you had an input to help the resolution of that problem or concern. That's what motivates you or motivates me to make it through the day and live another day and come back to this job day in and day out. In life, in general, is my family and my wife. But here at work is the people that I work with, day in and day out. And I have really 2 families. I have a family inside this office, and I have a family outside of this office. I imagine this is advice that a lot of people will say. Stop, listen, and pay attention what's really being said. Now, I know that sounds very basic, but there's a lot of times we listen to somebody, but we really don't listen to what they're saying. I am one of those people. I think I listen to people, but I really don't listen to what they're saying. So to go back and say what the advice is listen to the people around you, listen to the people that are in this job, and know the direction you want to go, and listen to those people of how to do something, how did they get there, and what advice they do have. It can vary. Obviously, everybody likes to, hopefully they're going to wake up in the morning, but on a good day, I have enough time to stretch, do a little exercise, have some breakfast, And I'll either come into the office straight or I'll go straight to a job site. When I come into the office, kind of get the office open at times, say hi to everybody, routine, check with everybody, see what's going on for that day, and then kind of go get after it and see what's got to be taken care of with the emails, phone calls, and go from there. Well, that's an interesting question because I kind of bounced around a little bit. At a very young age, I started out and I wanted to be a fireman. The reason I wanted to be a fireman is because my dad tried to be a fireman at the same time. So when I saw him trying for this, and I thought it was a very high level, which I still respect that level. Anybody that wants to run into a burning building has got, you know, my efforts after that of looking at it, go, wow, this is pretty impressive. But as I started getting older, I loved creating and building things. A lot of people don't know I like to weld and fabricate with machineries. So I wanted to go in something a little bit different. I started and studied to be an architect. My nickname around my friends is called Wax. And it could either be that from I always like to wax my cars and my trucks, or a lot of people don't know this, is back in my high school days, we used to spin records on the ones and twos with the microphone and at house parties. So some people would call me Wax from the way the records were related to as putting it on wax. I do. I have some hobbies. I like to do some minor woodworking, rebuilding, working on houses, fabrication of welding, grinding, and machinery. And I need to focus a little bit more on a couple new hobbies I'm picking up is mountain bike riding and camping with the family. We used to be very heavily into off-road racing, and we don't do that anymore, but I still consider that a hobby even though we don't get out to do that. My favorite food has to be tacos, because we named Taco Tuesday for a reason, so tacos would be my favorite food.